Good morning, everyone. Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. So we are having the weirdest weather. We were really hot, like got up to 90 degrees, and it was like, oh, okay, well now we're in hot weather now for Northern California. Then we had a crazy windstorm where my cut flower garden was like basically flattened, and actually my neighbor's tree fell. No damage to any structures or anybody, thank goodness, but it was an intense windstorm. And now that wind brought in some cold. So yesterday morning it got down to 35, and we actually did have some frost on my neighbor's house, and then it was supposed to get that cold again, so I took everything I could and I threw it in my greenhouse, and it only got down to I think 37 last night, which is good, but everything was protected, so it was okay. My bougainvillea on the south side of my house looks totally fine this morning, but I wanted to show you my greenhouse because it is a crack up. It's never been this full. There is so much stuff in it, and I am so ready to get it all out into the garden. So let me show you. Okay, so ignore the mess. I cut off the irrigation drip system that I had to my bougainvillea. So normally I have my bougainvillea purple queen right there, and over the winter it got too cold and it lost all its leaves, and it was finally starting to grow back. So I kind of panicked and I had Jason move it into the greenhouse. So that's supposed to go there. These are sweet peas that obviously will do fine in the cold. And then this is an improved Meyer lemon tree that I felt like it would be fine in the mid 30s, for a day or two. Obviously my snapdragons are doing gorgeous. But let me show you guys my greenhouse. It's so funny. Look at this. Okay, so it's a little full. It's like every square inch is covered with a plant. Even on the ground, it's covered with plants and my tiny tomatoes and everything like that. It's so funny. Okay, so here's my bougainvillea purple queen, and you can see the bracts are starting to come. It's gonna start having some color, so I didn't want to risk leaving it out in another mid-30s night because I felt like we've gotten so much progress with this one. I didn't want to lose all that progress. And then on the ground, I have all my micro dwarf tomatoes that I had put out last week or the week before last, and I wanted them to be protected. Over here, Proven Winners sent me a bunch of their jumbo caladium bulbs, and so I'm growing them on, and I'm really excited about I'm going to pot them up, and then I'm also going to use some of these in my cut flower bouquets. I didn't know that you could use caladiums in cut flowers, but you absolutely can, so that's why I have so many pots of those growing on. So those are actually staying in here because these are tropical plants, and I won't put them out until it gets really warm. And then you can see color. I went to Lowe's. I just happened to stop by Lowe's yesterday, and I saw Supertunia Vista bubblegum, a bunch of it, and Supertunia Royal Velvet. And Royal Velvet is not a Vista, but it does really well. Obviously not as good as the bubblegum. So I'm really excited for that. I already know where I'm gonna put some of that. Obviously I overbought, of course, but I was really excited to find them at Lowe's. So that was staying in here just to be safe. And then here are all my seedlings for my spring summer cut flower garden. So this is what I want to do today. That last night should have been the last night of cold that we had. So I want to start getting some of these out into my cut flower garden. I have some space where I took the anemones and the ranunculus out, but some of them I'm just going to kind of fit in between other flowers that I have there. And then you can see over here I have my dahlias. I've been growing them on mainly just to protect them from slugs. And so I have some of them that are doing really good. This is Creme de Cassis. This is Kelvin Floodlight. That one back there, I can't see it, and I can't I can't get over there because the ground is covered. Let's see, that one's Arbitax. This is old. That is so gross. I'm sorry. But then some of them are a little bit slower, like this is Mingus Alex, and it's barely coming. Lavender Perfection, I don't even see anything yet. So I'm just going to kind of keep watching that. And then over behind the Purple Queen are some of my Proven Winners. gosh, you guys can barely see it, are my Proven Winners vegetables and pesto besto that I need to pot up and then plant out in my cut vegetable garden. So Jason actually took the day off work today to go to a field trip with Sadie, my older daughter. So he's got to get going. So I need to ask him to move this Purple Queen back out before they leave for the field trip. You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, thank you. Are you excited about the field trip?
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Are you gonna have a bunch of little girls in your car?
It's very possible.
Screaming their heads off?
Yeah, listening to BTS.
Listening to BTS? Have fun with that, Jason.
Yeah.
Careful. Where it was?
That's right.
Yeah. I need to get those pot feet. Okay. Thank you. Have fun.
You're welcome.
Bye. Have fun. Have a fun field trip. Learn a lot. Don't be crazy. Bye, Shay. You have lipstick on your lips. I'm sorry. Bye. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to go get some of the cut flower seedlings that need to go in my cut flower garden and get them in so that they can start growing. Okay, so here they are all laid out. These are all my cut flowers. Some of them are for my bonus planting that I'm just gonna put in other random parts of my garden, and some of them are actually for the cut flower garden. So the apricot aster, these are looking really good. These just go in some random part of my garden, so I have to find a place for those today. These are Valkyrie asters, and I have to put those in my cut flower garden. Lavender asters, I have to put in my cut flower garden. AGERATUM, however you say it. I think it's called Blue Planet. Those need to go somewhere in my garden. Double click cosmos, I'm not going to plant yet. Lemon basil go in my cut flower garden. These mountain snow and these mountain snow go in the cut flower garden. And then the zinnias I want to put in the cut flower garden as well. And these are my milkweed. This is the narrow leaf and this is the showy milkweed. And these guys are going, I think I'm going to pot these guys up just so I can kind of baby them. I'm not ready to plant them out yet, but I want to save all of them because some of them I'm going to put in a like a native garden that the city of Davis is doing right by my house, and they gave me permission to plant some of these guys in that garden, which I'm very excited about. So I really want to take care of all of these milkweed that I have. Okay, so let's get going. I think I'm gonna stop there. I got a lot of other random chores to do today, so let me show you what I got in the ground. Okay, so the last thing I did is I put my blue planet ageratum in this little section right here. And the reason why I put it here, you can kind of see the shade. It does get a little bit more shade, and on the Johnny's website, which is where I got those seeds from, it said sun, but it can tolerate some shade in areas of hot summers. And obviously we have a hot summer here. So I kind of just put them in here. It was a little difficult because I do have some daffodil bulbs that I'm kind of working around. And then I did have some old annual salvia that had lasted for a couple years. So I had just left it in, and I think they finally were finished. I think they were done. So I pulled some of that out, and you can see, well, maybe you can, I don't know. I just kind of dotted it around there. So I think that should look really pretty. It's going to be like a blue purple look, and it'll look really good with the sparkling amethyst superbena that I have right there. So that's one of them. That was in my bonus planting section. Okay, then over here in my cut flower garden, in the area where this is where my ranunculus was, and then this is where my anemones were. So what I did is I ended up putting, which is different from what my chart says, my Google Sheets, and you know, my whole layout that I had written, I put my lemon basil right here in this whole section. And this whole section was supposed to be my mountain snow, but my mountain snow euphorbia had terrible germination. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I even tried the wet paper towel trick, where you put it in a wet paper towel and then you put it in a plastic baggie, and that didn't work either. So, I mean, it said on the packet that the germination was very sporadic, and it definitely was very sporadic. So I was actually able to fit 3 different plants or varieties in here. So right here to the left, I have lemon basil, which I'm going to use as a filler. I have my mountain snow euphorbia kind of right in this section, which I'm going to use as a filler as well. And then over here on the right side, this is my Lady Coral Lavender Aster, which I'm super excited about. And I was looking at the spacing and it said 6 inches. And so I put these a little bit closer together. And this is different for me because normally I have these drips with the emitters every 6 inches, and I always plant something right next to there. I don't plant it anywhere else. So I'm gonna see how they do this year, not directly next to the emitter. And I might have to run my drip a little bit longer just to make sure the whole thing gets saturated with water, but that's okay. And then I can just fit way more flowers in. So yeah, so we'll see how it goes. So I've got those 3 in. You can see my Orlea is starting to bloom, so I'm excited to start cutting those and getting those in bouquets. There was a couple of them that didn't do very well, and I don't know if it was like the frost that we had or the wind kind of just took them out. I do have some weeds. This is something that I have to do today, is I have to go through and get all my weeds. They're all over the place. Yeah, and then I have my Prairie Sun Rudbeckia that's coming along nicely. Focus. There we go. And then I don't want to make this a tour for you guys. I don't want to bore you guys. But yeah, everything is coming along very nicely. So I'm glad I got those 4 cut flowers in. I think that will be really good. And then tomorrow I'll come out and I'll throw a couple more things in as well. And yes, I still need to get something for that. Some piece of metal or something like that. Okay, you guys, so I hope you enjoyed this. I'm really excited to get some of these cut flowers in the ground, and I'm so excited for them to start blooming as well. So if you did enjoy this, please consider subscribing, and I hope you all have a chance to get into your garden today.